Hello my friends, you're listening to Ebird Online and I'm back with another review. And today we're going to be talking about The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And this is Season 10, Episode 3, First Impressions, True Confessions. Oh my god guys, this episode was so excruciatingly embarrassing for so many reasons, which we're going to get into. Just before I begin, if you're new here, welcome to my channel and please consider subscribing. And if you've been here before, what are you waiting for? Just press that red button for regular content. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Ebird99. So guys, I'm going to get straight into it because we've got an awful lot to cover. And we start the episode off with Dorit and PK. I wonder what they're doing this week. Ah yes. And as per usual, they're taunting their creditors with their fabulous life, their beautiful new home. And PK, well, apparently he's taking meetings in the swimming pool. And Dorit comes out and tells him, you will have to do some work once I finish your office. And PK said, oh, forget about that. Come into the pool, it's lovely. But Dorit declines and says, one of us has to work. Oh, really, Dorit? And as we all suspected, PK is not working. And I'm so glad that we've finally ascertained that PK doesn't have a job. Mind you, I guess if he did earn any money, it would all go to his pesky creditors. And who wants that? The creditors. Yeah, besides them, who wants that? Moving on swiftly, we go to Shay Erika. And she's practicing for her brand new role as Roxy in Chicago. And you guys probably remember, as I said in my last review, that Erika's singing was fine, but I think her acting might be a little bit of a problem. I take that all back. I think the singing's going to be a problem. The truth be told, it's not sounding great. And Erika tells us, when she gets on stage, it will just be her and the audience. There's no sound man on Broadway. Which the Ebird found quite interesting because my ex-boyfriend is a sound engineer and he did an awful lot of work at theatres. I think you'll find, Erika, there are sound engineers at theatres. What do you think you're plugging the mic into? Somebody's iPhone? And Erika takes a trip down memory lane and she tells of a time when she was 6 on stage at school and she hit a high note and all she could hear in the audience was the sound of her mother's laughter. And she said even today it still rings in her head. And that kind of explains it. Erika, it must still be putting you off your singing. You're not hitting those notes. But enough of all that. Let's go and meet Lisa and Teddi. They're having another tea and talking about Lisa's kids again. And Lisa tells Teddi that Amelia, her daughter, has dropped out of uni and is back home and that she has her and Harry's full support. And boring Teddi tells us she hates talking to people about their kids because you can't really say what you want to say. But she says it to us anyway. She disagrees and she thinks that Lisa and Harry should have forced Amelia to stay at university. And she tells us she wanted to drop out and her parents wouldn't let her. Teddi, the truth be told, with your personality, you really need an education. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for people going to uni and getting an education. I went to uni myself and I studied law and I didn't go into it, but it's always been useful in business. However, Teddi has to realise Amelia has anxiety, she has depression, and I don't think there's many parents that would want their kid all the way over the other side of the country if that was the case. And then Sutton rocks up. She's a little bit late, but she comes in saying, I'm so sorry. And the girls effusively thank Sutton. And guys, apparently Sutton gave them 2 grand clutch bags at her event. And these bags are absolutely gorgeous. Perhaps the Ebird was wrong. Perhaps there are great things in that boutique after all. And Lisa tells us Sutton's the kind of girl you want as a friend. And that says an awful lot about you, Lisa. Although having said that, it says an awful lot about me as well because I too would like to be Sutton's friend if she's handing out 2 grand bags. And then Lisa sets Teddi up in the way that only Lisa can do. She says, tell Sutton all about your business. It's so exciting and it's really successful. And as we all know, Teddi's the unaccountable accountability coach. Teddi takes no responsibility for anything she ever does. But she wants to hold you accountable for everything you eat, everything you say and everything you do. So Teddi's business is basically personal training and I think probably with some nutrition thrown in as well. And she has other personal trainers working for her. So I think that she's franchised this business out. And I think people pay her a fee so they can use her workouts and her marketing for their clients. And Teddi tells Sutton, I started out with 40 clients, but now we've had 10,000 lives changed. Oh, Teddi. 9,000 of those lives have changed. 9,000 of those lives have been made more boring through having met you. And then talk turns to Teddi's event, which I think is next week, and Sutton says, I was really upset that you said you don't care if we come or not. I'm coming, and I hope you give a shit about me coming. And Teddi says, well, I'm just saying it like it is. I really don't care if people come or not. And Sutton said, but I'm coming. I think you've said this quite rudely. I just can't understand. I tell you what I'll do for you. I'll write you a card and it will be really polite. It will say something like, I would love to see you there, but if you can't make it, never mind. Which really, guys, is all Teddi ever needed to say. She said it quite confrontationally. I really don't care if you come or not. And I don't understand why she was so confrontational, but then so surprised when people took it the wrong way. And let's be fair, Teddi, every single person there took it the wrong way. Even Kyle, although she'll never say so because she's full of shit. And then boring Teddi says to Sutton, I'm direct. Oh God, this is the war cry of rude bitches worldwide. I say it how it is. I'm just telling it how it is. I say what everybody else is thinking. There's a reason why everybody else is thinking it and not saying it, because it's bloody rude. Teddi, you're just a rude little biatch, and I should know because I'm one too. And I'm really not sure if Teddi was just trying to not make certain people go, or if she wanted to reject people before she was rejected. But this is all just going to come back to haunt her at the dinner party from hell later on. And so Kyle's having a welcome home party. She's only been gone for about 10 days, but she said she's never spent more than 5 days away from her family. And Kyle, I don't know why you're making it such a massive deal, because there's only one minor. I think your youngest, Portia, I think she's maybe 12 or something. Everybody else is in their 20s. But nevertheless, she's having a welcome back dinner party. And we see her and Maurizio getting ready. Maurizio staggers through the house, and you can tell straight away he's clearly been drinking and smoking. But I gotta say, guys, it's such a beautiful home that they have, and the interior design is breathtaking. It's literally gorgeous. And the guests start to arrive. First up, there's Erika and Lisa Rinna, who get pissed in the car, which is the most intelligent thing that anybody could do, because a dinner party with these ladies is usually a dinner party from hell. And Lisa Rinna's wearing a zebra print suit. Kyle says, oh my God, I ordered that. And Lisa said, well, you can wear it now. I've already worn it. And then Kyle said in her confessional, now I know it looks like a zebra. I'm good. Kyle, what did you think a zebra print suit was going to make you look like? Sutton comes in wearing a red dress, and she tells everybody it's ready to wear. In comes the morally bankrupt Faye Resnick, and Dorit, and Denise and husband Aaron, and Garcelle, who yet again looks fabulous. I'm starting to think that Garcelle is definitely fabulous. And guys, Sutton's moaning on again because there's no assigned seating. But anyway, I guess this is what Sutton's used to. And they're a bit more laissez-faire in Beverly Hills, and Sutton can't seem to get her head around it. Every single time Sutton has ever sat down anywhere, Sutton wants to see a bloody name card there. I'm surprised she didn't ask for assigned seating when they went to get coffee the day before. And there's a big hoo-ha, and then Teddi joins in saying, I think Sutton just doesn't want to sit next to me. Boring Teddi, nobody wants to sit next to you. Probably not even your husband, who's equally boring, so much so that I forget his name. So Kyle stands up at the start of the meal and thanks her husband Maurizio for looking after his own kids. And they all sit down to eat. And Lisa Rinna says, let's play a game of first impressions. And so Kyle says that Garcelle is fabulous. Garcelle loves this, and she in turn says Lisa Rinna, when she walks in, owns a room. I gotta tell you that's true, she certainly does. Lisa Rinna says Erika's fabulous. Again, all true. And Erika says to Dorit, when I first met you, I didn't understand a word you were saying. You did, Erika. You just didn't understand why she was saying it in an accent that was not her own. But anyway, then Dorit turns to Denise and says, I love you for being kind and really down to earth. And Denise says to Sutton, I was really worried about you because I thought you were going to be so fashion conscious that you'd look down on me. But you're really down to earth. Is she? Denise, those drugs obviously haven't worn off yet. And she said, and I'm really, thrilled that you're, here. Now, guys, I have a little theory. You've been an actress for, well, forever. So you could have said your lines a little bit more convincingly. I think you did that on purpose. Really, I do. And Sutton says, I'm not nice. And then when she turned to Teddi, she said, I think I'm going to be honest. And this whole thing really made me laugh because, one, it was insinuating that nobody else had been honest because, remember, they've all said nice things thus far. And also it was setting up the scene that I'm actually going to coat the life out of Teddi. And she said, Teddi, when I first met you, I thought you were going to be, well, a little bit boring. And then I thought, oh my God, and she's pregnant. But I suppose you're way more interesting than I thought you were. Well, Teddi's really, really uninteresting. So how boring did you think she was going to be? Did you think she was going to be a corpse? And Teddi sat there, and then she smiled. Then her bottom lip started quivering, and then came the waterworks. She got up and ran out, and I couldn't help but notice her husband's seen this so many times he couldn't even be bothered to follow her. And she said, I'm trying so hard to be chilled out. and when she came back she'd calmed down a tad. And she said to Sutton, "You've come at me 3 nights in a row now." And Sutton said, "I'm not really. I'm just asking you why you said you don't care if we come to your event or not." And the truth be told, even though Sutton's put a little bit too much on this, I find it true. I would want to know the reason why as well. And I think what all the women are waiting for is for them to say, "Teddi, you kind of upset our feelings with saying it, and you kind of made us seem like we were expendable friends and you didn't care about our support." And they're all waiting for Teddi to say, "Oh, do you know what, guys? I phrased it wrong." But Teddi's refusing. Teddi still says, "But that's just how it is. I don't care if you come." And Teddi, the more you dig your heels in, the more these women are going to go on and on and on about it. And Sutton said, "Well, I am still offended." And then Teddi said, "Well, then don't come." And my friends, I find this kind of weird. Teddi brings all of this on herself. And she says, "I'm trying to be chilled." And she's trying to be, I think, a little bit pseudo-tough. But anybody watching her for the last 3 seasons will know she does have that bitchy underlayer. She went out of her way not to like Sutton and not to particularly welcome her into the group. And although Sutton is quite unlikable, Teddi, hang your basket where you can reach. Don't try and slay a bitch that's unslayable. Are you mad? You can take one look at Sutton and know she's got game. And Dorit found the whole thing quite amusing, and she said in her confessional, it cannot be the first time that Teddi's heard that she's boring, and it won't be the last. And Aaron, Denise's husband, was asked to explain what he did for a living. And in a nutshell, Aaron basically said he knows more about the human body than the whole medical profession in the US. And he said everything that you've been taught about the disease process is not true. Aaron, how do you know? How do you know what I've been taught about the disease process? And he stopped and paused for dramatic effect, and then he said, "I have to be careful what I say." And he looked around the room. "Aaron, over here. Yep, that's it. 4 TV cameras. Everything you're saying now is being broadcast worldwide." And then Aaron lets us in on an amazing secret. The human body can heal on its own. Oh, for God's sake, Aaron! The body was designed to heal itself. It's a self-healing organism. And to prove his point, Aaron said, "I ruptured my Achilles tendon and it healed itself in a couple of months." Aaron, it does. It's just a tendon. As long as you don't walk on it and you just leave it, it will heal. And he's acting as if this is magic. And then the funniest of all, he said, "Allopathic means alternative medicine. Look it up." Aaron, I don't need to. You mean homeopathic. That's alternative medicine. Allopathic medicine is science-based. Modern medicine, it's pills and operations and the shiz that doctors do in hospitals. And at this point I'm starting to worry about Aaron. But then thankfully he goes on a long tirade about fusion energy and I didn't understand a word he was saying. And then comes Aaron's magnum opus. Aaron tells us all our bodies have cancer. Aaron, we know. That's why we avoid triggers like excessive UV rays or cigarettes. We know. Erika says, "Fascinating, Dr. Aaron." Garcelle says, "Cuckoo." And Denise says, "Stop, for our own safety." And then she says, "We've got to go." Yes, Denise, I think at this juncture in time, that's the best course of action. And honestly, guys, Aaron absolutely killed the mood. He started out at uncomfortable. Then it was embarrassing. Later on, cringeworthy. And finally, it was mortifying. They had to leave at that point. There's no way I think that Denise could have looked anybody in the eye for another second. And as the pair leave, I can't help but think, I wonder why Aaron's medical expertise didn't get rid of Denise's hernias. Why did she need surgery? So the whole party then breaks up, and the final scene is the following day, and Erika sits down and has a chat with Teddi at a coffee shop, and Teddi tells her that she doesn't want Sutton to go to her event and she's disinvited. And Sutton meets up with Kyle, and Kyle tells her, "Yeah, don't worry, you can come to the event." And as per usual for Kyle, she didn't really stick up for Teddi, and she didn't really consider Teddi's views and feelings. So guys, let me know what you think about this episode. Do you think that Aaron is all kinds of crazy? I know I do. Half of what he says is primary school biology, and the other half PhD level neuroscience. And Aaron tells us he can kill any disease and any illness and seemingly any dinner party. And also let me know if you think Teddi has brought all of this on herself. She kind of made a bit of an adversary of Sutton, and you know that Sutton's a mean girl and she's going to come for you. Teddi, you got to be ready if you're going to call it on. And what do we think to Kyle? Kyle's kind of bolstering Sutton, saying, "Oh no, you don't have anything to be worried about, you're just speaking your truth." If your truth is low-key bitchy, does it need to be said? After all, Sutton, you were the one that said just yesterday. There are ways to say things, polite ways. So let me know what you think in comments down below, and I'll be back soon with another review. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you've yet to do so, make Ebird a very happy Ebird. You've been listening to Ebird Online. Thank you for letting me get it off my chest. Ciao for now.